Hi everybody, I'm Chris Watson and welcome to this edition of the NYSPHSAA Captains Club presented by NYSCOPBA. Today we're at Niskayuna High School, just outside Albany in Section 2, to introduce you to a former NYSPHSAA student athlete who went on to play Division I college lacrosse, is now helping people's lives while also trying to conquer the business world. Guy Waltman is a 2010 graduate of Niskayuna High School and a 2014 graduate of Syracuse University. His story starts in middle school, when he wanted to go from a couch potato hooked on video games to a kid involved in sports.
I said to my dad, what about an athletic trainer? And I was in 6th grade at the time, and I went up to my father and said, what about an athletic trainer? He said, only if you're serious about it, right? Because I had done nothing up until that time to prove to my father that I would take anything like that seriously, something that obviously costs money, right? Hard-earned dollars that he worked for.
Guy told his dad, Steve, he would take it serious. And so it began, bright and early, every day.
I would wake up in the morning, I'd go to the school, I would train with him hard from like 7:30 until 8:30 in the morning, shower in those showers that no middle schooler has ever used in the history of middle schoolers, and I would shower with and go up to homeroom with wet hair and a breakfast sandwich.
Hard work and dedication began to pay off. He found 3 sports that he liked, but 2 that he loved.
It got me to the point where I wanted to specialize in just the basketball and lacrosse. Football was something that I really enjoyed, but it wasn't something that got me up in the morning. When I would wake up, I would want a basketball in my hand. If it was 3 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, I'd go outside. It was just me and that chain, ching, ching, ching,
For Guy, the drive to get better didn't come from the end result, but it came from the road to get there.
The most rewarding thing, I think, and this is credit to my trainer, was the milestones that he set forth for me all the time. So he would say, okay, Guy, your vertical leap right now is 24 inches. We're gonna do this again in 2 weeks. I want you to 28 inches, right? And I would hit that milestone and I would feel so accomplished. I'd feel so proud. And it was honestly like that for 3 years.
And that desire to attain goals carried over, making it to the varsity basketball and lacrosse teams and becoming a standout player.
Defensive end, Johnson's a complete midfielder. Guy Waltman, first shot of the game, and it's a goal! The right guy for the job to open it up was number 23.
If it's really just the guy who puts in the most work, well, that's something within my, here's the word, control, right? That's something within my control. I can control my effort. I can get to bed on time. I can not go to the parties. I can make sure I get my studies done so I never have to miss a game, right? I can do those things. And I was excited to do those things.
When he turned 16, Guy's dad talked to him about an important Waltman family tradition, one that he still adheres to this day.
It's time that you start creating your code. And whatever, what's that mean? The code. So I go, Dad, what do you mean? He goes, well, the code, right, your code, it's actually a Waltman family tradition. So the code is how you choose to lead your life. And knowing that at the end of your days, no matter what you accomplish, no matter how much or how little, if you live your life according to your code, you know that you led a life that you can be proud of. A very serious thing in my family. So I said, well, Dad, what's your code, right? And he goes, well, I can't tell you my code because it'll influence yours. You have to figure this out on your own. It could be a sentence, it could be a word, it could be anything. I see my grandfather maybe like the next week or something. I go, Gramps, what's your code? He goes, that's right, you're 16, he goes. I'm like, this is real? I'm like, this is like a real thing? And he goes, yeah, it's a real thing.
And not only was the code real, so was Guy's athletic ability. He went from developing to flourishing. He starred on the basketball court and the lacrosse field. And as he says, he was the big fish. He set his sights on playing college lacrosse at the highest level, Division I, Syracuse University. And that dream came true, but Guy quickly learned that he wasn't the big fish anymore.
I was the fastest. I was the strongest by far. I could always jump the highest. I was easily the most accomplished athlete in my school. And a very humbling moment when you go to SU, because I wanted to play lacrosse at the highest level. So you go to Syracuse University, right? The top schools in the Division I level are SU, Johns Hopkins, Cornell, Duke, right? So you go to SU, and then you look to your left, and you look to your right, and you just see all people just like you. I'm not the fastest anymore. I'm not the strongest anymore. I'm not even close to the best. Like, I am on the other side of the spectrum, all of a sudden, like that.
But finding his role on the #1 ranked college lacrosse team took a back seat late in his freshman year, when his parents called and told him and his sister Kate to come home right away. When they got home, Guy got news that no one could have ever prepared him for.
And my mom told us that my dad had a brain tumor. And we don't know, how bad it is just yet, but we're going to get it figured out. So I looked at my mom and I said, "Tell me the truth." And I said that to her because something didn't seem right. It didn't seem like I was getting the whole truth. My mom told us that he had 6 weeks to live, right? So my dad put his arms out. He was just begging for me to come over and my sister to come over and hug him. And my dad said to me, "We're going to take that 6 weeks and we're going to make it 6 months."
Steve made it clear both of his children, Guy and Kate, would not drop out of college to be home with their ailing dad. So they went to school Monday through Thursday and spent weekends in Niskayuna.
So then every Thursday, after my last class at 2 p.m., my sister and I would drive home. Every single weekend we drove home. Because here we are, we're thinking six weeks. But my dad was like, you will be in school, period, end story. But I started driving home every single weekend, spend time with Pops, and 6 weeks turned into 9 months. And we did a lot of great things as a family that you only do if you're living like you're dying. I mean, you really, it's hard to explain, I learned more from my father in those 9 months than most people learn from their fathers in, 50 plus years.
Guy spent all the time he could with his dad until his last day. Steve Waltman died August 8th, 2011. He never saw his only son graduate from Syracuse University with a degree in biology. Now 3 years removed from college, Guy is making a name for himself in business, specifically the business of helping others.
6, 5, burst of speed, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Why do I keep trying to build my own thing and to make my dreams come a reality? Because it's my father that's driving me. And if I didn't have the inspiration from my father driving me, I would have, of course, I would have thrown my hands up and given up by now, because it's been 3.5 years and here I am, right? And I love what I do, but I'm not where I want to be. I'm competitive, part of that athletic spirit. I want to grow, I want more, right? And it's okay to want more, but it's also important to practice what you preach. So I always say to myself, I have stuff to be grateful for. I have stuff to be proud of. So it's helping my clients understand that, and then of course, remembering that myself.
Family First Fitness is not only Guy's business, but it is also his passion.
So it's getting people to understand that you have things to be proud of, you have things to be grateful for, right? And that even though your goals may seem far-fetched right now, let's not focus on the goal so much. Ready? Here it is. We focus on the reason why you have the goal. So I'm a huge advocate on why, not what. Okay, so everyone says, oh, I want to spend more time with my, or I want to get healthier. I want to lose weight. I want to spend more time with my kids, right? Or whatever their goal is. See, what's going to happen is you're going to hit speed bumps. There's going to be potholes in the road. You're going to have hills. And how do you get over those speed bumps? How do you climb those mountains? Focusing on the goal isn't enough. You will forever fail if you only focus on your goals. What gets you through those tough times are, why do you want to lose weight? It's great that you want to lose weight, but why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to spend more time with your family? Okay? And that is where the passion, the motivation comes from. And that's what I always just try and bring out in these people.
Guy Waltman has always been dedicated to whatever he does. Before it was sports, and now it's helping others. The lessons his father passed down to him, the lessons that he learned as a student athlete, are still a major part of what he does today.
Whereas with sports, growing up, I absolutely was putting time in. The other guy was eating, I'm shooting hoops. The other guy is sleeping, I'm shooting at the net, right? But in business, it's around the clock. So it's channeling your competitive spirit to win, whether it's on a basketball court or now in my life and business. It's how I live my life.
From starring on the athletic fields right here at Niskayuna High School to trying to conquer the business world, Guy Waltman has seen a lot and done a lot in a short amount of time. He continues to promote his brand, Family First Fitness, both as a personal trainer and online, hoping to grow his brand worldwide. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Captains Club, brought to you by the New York State Correctional Officers and Police Benevolent Association. I'm Chris Watson. We'll see you next time.